Good morning, guys. Happy Monday. We just finished our Monday morning live class, workout number 41 at home workout 41. EMOM style is definitely a good way to get a short but high intense workout at home. The first EMOM today is 10 minutes and the second one is 15. So I'll go through the movements with you in the structure, but I would strongly suggest spending a good, 10 minutes getting warm. The first circuit is going to be intense on your back and shoulders, and then the second one is going to be a lot of legs. So we put this warm up on Wodify, Scorpions, pass-throughs. You can use a broomstick, a hockey stick. You could use a band or a jump rope if you have one. You don't have to go all the way behind you just to get a good shoulder stretch, and then just 5 bodyweight squats, nice and easy, loosening up the legs. So 2 rounds through the top, more if you need it, and then the bottom would be 5 push press per side from a kneeling position. A lot of people are having trouble going overhead in their houses. So if you want to just drop down to your knees to get that push press, start warming up your shoulders. 10 Superman extensions, so laying on your stomach, going to that Superman hold, and then 5 burpee broad jumps just to start to get the heart rate up. So guideline for a warm up, just make sure that you get your heart rate up and get a good stretch in before you start moving any weights. And then we will get into EMOM number 1. So EMOM, E-M-O-M, stands for every minute on the minute. What that means is you're gonna have to get all of that work done within a minute. If you have any time left over, it'll be a break, and then you move on to the next minute. So in the first minute, you'll have to do 16 alternating dumbbell snatches. If you finish those early, take a break. On minute 2, you'll go into 12 single arm thrusters. So alternating snatches will be slower and a little bit more intense than if you did all 6 on the right and then all 6 on the left. If you're worried about getting through it, you can try all 6 on the right, but alternating makes it a little bit tougher. So from the ground, you're gonna go all the way up overhead. You can switch on your way down, all the way up overhead, or you can switch on the ground. It's up to you. Try to get through all 16 of those reps. If you're not getting through them all, if you have a heavier weight and you need to make an adjustment, you can drop it down and do 14. So you would do 7 on each side. Try to get through the full amount. When I did it this morning, I was getting through the snatches in about 40 seconds, and I was using a 30-pound weight. So, we have to kind of work with what we have, which is fine. If you're using a lighter weight and it's not enough work for you, you're getting done too early, you can add on and do 18 reps, but I wouldn't do any more than that because you have quite a few rounds of it. And then movement number 2 would be single arm thruster. So again, with that dumbbell, your total number is 12. So I'm gonna do 6, 1, 2, 6 on one side, and then switch and do 6 on the other side. Full squat and full press. Again, if your weight is a little bit too heavy and you need to drop that number down and do 5 on each side, that's an option for you as well. So I'll pull it back up one more time. It is in Wodify if you don't have Wodify. So you'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you're gonna do each movement 5 times. The thrusters were faster. We got through the thrusters in about 30 seconds. So you definitely will have a little time to rest after that and use the rest. Don't worry about doing anything during that break time, okay? So once you get through 10 minutes there, take a break. We took 2 minutes off. We talked about part number 2, and then we got into it. So you're gonna do 10 reverse lunges, 15 weighted jump squats, and 20 sit-ups. So for this one, you have 3 minutes to get all that work done. If you get everything done in 3 minutes, you will have a little bit more of a rest. So what we did, my first round, I didn't use any weights for the lunges, but we got done too early, so then I added a weight. So I used a weighted lunge. If you really want to make it a lot harder, you could do an overhead weighted lunge. Step back, 1, step back, 2. You can hold it here. You can really hold it any way that you want. And then for your 15 jump squats, the first couple of rounds we started with them here. You'll feel it more in your quads if you hold the weight in the front. I switched it to hold it here because I wanted to feel it more in the hamstrings and the glutes. So it's a little bit harder if you hold it up higher. It's up to you. Always an option to not use weight at all. Always an option to not jump at all. And then 20 sit-ups. So we did 5 rounds of this. So 15 minutes of total work. We were finishing the rounds at about 1:40-ish, depending on if you were using weights and jumping. Give yourself a little bit of a break. If you cut the rounds to a little bit shorter than 3 minutes, that's okay. On our final round this morning, we did an AMRAP. So on the last and final round, we did 3 minutes as many times as we could, just to kind of like spike it a little bit at the end, because we had a little bit of rest in between. I did have one girl who was doing planks during her break. Totally fine, because it's a little bit less intense than that first EMOM. The cash out today is 50 kettlebell or dumbbell pull-throughs. We've done these in class before, so you're gonna be up on your hands in the upper plank position, and you're gonna slide the kettlebell from underneath one side to the other, making an X with your body, and then again, back over. So I'll show you what that looks like. It's gonna be 50 total. So slide through 1 plank, slide through 2. What you don't wanna do is you don't wanna pick the weight up and move it. If you're picking it up and moving it, it's probably too light. So just keep in mind that you wanna slide it. I believe that is it. Make sure you get a good warm up. 10 minutes for this first workout. The snatches are gonna be the hardest part. And then 15 minutes for this next part. You will have more rest time on this one. So really go hard. Try not to take any breaks on those jumping squats. That would be my advice. That is all for today. That cash out with the 50 pull-throughs, and that's it. Happy Monday.